It's Conor here in Delphi, just come 2 hours on the road from Athens. Over 2,000, almost 3,000 years ago, this was the site of the Oracle. Down here, the Oracle spoke, and the people came, and they came with a question. And as we were driving 2 hours from Athens, I was thinking about what question I would have asked had I traveled to speak to the Oracle. Someone coming here to ask a question would have had 10 days of walking, thinking about the question that they were bringing to ask the Oracle. And maybe that alone was why the Oracle was so powerful, that it forced people to think, what's the one question that's really important to me right now? And if you were to spend the next 10 days walking and reflecting on what question about your life, about your family, about your country, what question, what's the most important question for you to answer? And I suspect just 10 days reflecting on that would make your trip to the Oracle powerful. And then if you got a good answer from the Oracle, even better. This temple here was the navel of the world, the belly button of the world, from 700 BC right through till the coming of Christianity to the Roman Empire. So it went through from 700 BC right up through to the conquering of the Greek states by Rome, 168. And it was still the Oracle here until the 4th century AD, when Emperor Constantine was the first emperor to become Christian. And the moment that he became Christian, all oracles and idols were banned. But for over 1,000 years, this is where kings and emperors came to ask a question. They would come into this temple here below through the portico there, and here in the ruined part of the temple is where the Pythia, the oracle's voice, one of the women that gave voice to the Oracle. Alexander the Great came here to ask, would he be successful against the Persians? The Athenians came here to ask, would they be successful in war against Persia? The answer of the Oracle when the Athenians asked was, depend on your wooden walls. And the Athenians decided this meant the ships. So the Athenians, based on the words of the Oracle, built a wooden navy, and it was with this wooden navy that they overcame the Persians, and that began the Athenian Empire from about 480. For about 100 years, Athens and democracy was the important thing here. In Vistage and in EO and in my life, the quality of your questions is so important. If you're asking the right questions, your brain is able to find an answer. If you're asking your brain every day, why am I such a loser? All of the resources of your brain go to figuring out what you've done wrong, what you've done that was a mistake. But if you can ask yourself questions about where you want to go, for me, the most powerful question to ask yourself, to ask others, is 3 years from now, what do you want to have achieved? Where do you want to be personally? Where do you want to be professionally 3 years from now? And in answering this, 3 years is enough that you can think into the future, you can think resourcefully. And I think it's the quality of your questions, the quality of questions you're asking others, the quality of questions you're allowing coaches and leaders to ask you, and the quality of the coaching you get that really is more important than the quality of your answers. It's easy to get good answers when you can ask great questions. And what Vistage is so much about is looking for great questions and holding you fully accountable and responsible for really going deep in answering those questions. And today it took us 2 hours on the road to come here, but I'd imagine from Athens here on foot it would have taken 10 days. And 2,000 years ago, someone coming here to ask a question would have had 10 days of walking, thinking about the question that they were bringing to ask the Oracle. And maybe that alone was why the Oracle was so powerful, that it forced people to think, what's the one question that's really important to me right now? And if you were to spend the next 10 days walking and reflecting on what question about your life, about your family, about your country, what question, what's the most important question for you to answer? And I suspect just 10 days reflecting on that would make your trip to the Oracle powerful. And then if you got a good answer from the Oracle, even better. So anyway, it's Conor from the Oracle of Delphi here in the 2019, 3,000 years after this oracle really gained its fame in the time of the Greek city-states. So have a good one. We'll see you next week. Thanks for your subscribes, your likes, your comments. What question would you ask the Oracle? Or even better, what question would you have me answer here on this YouTube channel? Have a good one.